Golf addicts, welcome to the PGA Championship 2021 Betting Picks and Preview. We are the Tour Junkies. I'm DB, your host, back in action, fresh off my Jordan Rona game. Pat's been covering for me. Thank you, buddy. You've done a great job. Appreciate you. We covered all that. You know, we covered that ad nauseum in the DraftKings preview. It was a good time. So I won't belabor that, but glad to be back. Thanks for everybody giving me the love, sending the T's and P's. Appreciate you. Feeling better. Gonna have a good show tonight. I'm pumped. We just recorded the DFS show, the DraftKings show. It was fantastic. We'll get into our special guest here in just a minute. I'll let Pat tell you about that because you're not going to want to miss that part. As always, we're presented to you by our friends at Fantasy National. Head over to fantasynational.com/TJ to get 20% off any membership level that you choose. You can start off weekly. If you say, man, I love this, you can change it to monthly or annually, and you still get to keep the 20% off. It's our go-to spot for all the stats, all the data, lineup builders, optimizers, head-to-head betting tools, everything you need to know if you are betting or playing any sort of fantasy golf. FantasyNational.com/TJ is where it's at to get that 20% off. And all the data certified and licensed by the PGA Tour, shot link data, all that good stuff. It's all right there. And everything we talk about in terms of stats comes from Fantasy National, and it has for the last 4 years. We know them. We trust them. They're the best in the biz. If you need stats, if you need data, if you need tools for betting on the PGA Tour, Fantasy National is where you go. Head over to FantasyNational.com/TJ. Get it done. I'm excited about this week, Pat. It's the PGA Championship. It's going to be a good time. I've played this golf course a few times. I've played the Ocean Course. Have you played the Ocean Course? I haven't asked you that.
I've never played the Ocean Course. I don't want any part of the Ocean Course. The Ocean Course, like if I were to play the Ocean Course, I would be playing the junior tees, or maybe even like if that's in front of the ladies' tees, that's probably where I'd want to play, because otherwise it just wouldn't be a very fun course for me at all.
Well, they have like 7 different sets of tees. So I'm sure in there somewhere is like, oh, wait a minute, sir. Are you a short knocking white guy? Oh, yeah, those tees are the blue tees up here. Go ahead.
Yeah. And they're probably named something to make you feel decent about yourself. like the blue tees, or they call them like the tournament tees or something, even though they're like way up and they're not the championship tees. Like there's got to be some kind of, like, it makes you feel a little bit better instead of just like, hey, these are the junior tees.
Yeah, well, I take an annual trip to Charleston, South Carolina with the family every single year to go to Isle of Palms. Love that area. It's only a couple hours down the interstate for me. So I've played the Ocean Course a few times. I have played it in god awful conditions. I have played it. I didn't even talk about this on the DraftKings show. I have a Kiawah story. I won't get into it. I have played Kiawah. I have played the Ocean Course in what I guarantee you no other person has played the Ocean Course before. In fact, when the weather hit, we were the only people left on the golf course. And we were the only people who continued to say, we are not leaving. We are finishing this round. And we did it. I've also played it in perfect conditions. It's a tough golf course. So what I was going to say is, I would love for the people who are watching on YouTube to comment the toughest golf course you've ever played. I'm very interested to hear the toughest one you've ever played. I think the Ocean Course is probably the toughest one I've ever played. TPC Sawgrass is pretty close. The Stadium Course is pretty close. I'm pretty sure now, though, thinking back, it's actually the Ocean Course. So comment, what's the toughest course you've ever played? And we're going to pick a random winner or two, and we are going to send you a little TJ merch. We're going to send you a free hat, some stickers, so a ball marker or two. And we got these sweet new coasters. That's right. We got coasters. Pat, show them the coasters. The coasters have like Pat's face with acorn tears, my face with acorn tears. Look at those. That is freaking beautiful, man. Look at that right there.
Acorn tears, me.
And then there's some podcast juice ones. By the way,
I feel like there's more acorns tears me than you, but maybe.
I don't know why. We ordered the same. I think we ordered the same amount. Yeah, that's beautiful, man. Look at that
one. And look at these. These two are fantastic. Boom.
Yes. Podcast juice, a little straw right there. Podcast juice goes here. Yes. Got those coasters. So you're going to get some of that. You can be the first person to get your hands on that. So put that in the comments. Toughest golf course you've ever played. Podcast juice for me tonight. Wild Leap vodka and soda. Just keeping it. Keeping it just in between the lines tonight. It's a big tournament. got to stay level. Didn't want to mix it up too much. So there you go. If you're, what do you got?
I got a little beer tonight. Little company out of Athens, Georgia, Creature Comforts. They got a good brew here. It's Tropicalia. It is a very good beer. So no free ads, but free ads.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for screwing that up. Okay.
Maybe they'll come in and give me some beer for that. You never know.
Let's see. Let's get straight into this. Let's talk about the golf course. Let's talk about the course fit. Pat, I'm going to let you tell the people what they need to make sure they go and check out on the DraftKings preview show. Even if you don't play DraftKings, I'll let you explain that, talk about this golf course, get all that good info to the people.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, PGA Championship this week at Kiawah Allen Resort in South Carolina, just outside of Charleston, which actually about 45 minutes from Charleston, South Carolina, just up the road. This is the Ocean Course at Kiawah Allen. They last played the PGA Championship here in 2012, where Rory just ran away with the tournament, won it by 8 shots, and that is still the record for the PGA Championship. They also played the 1991 Ryder Cup here. It is a Pete Dye design, playing 7,876 yards. Yes, you heard that correctly, 7,876 yards. And I think they could even get it up to 8,000 if they want to with some of the tee locations that they have out here. But it is one of the longest courses ever on tour for a major. Actually, it's the longest course on tour. It is a par 72. You have got 156 players in the field this week, and top 70 in ties will make the cut. Not top 65 like we typically see with your PGA Tour events. Now, remember, of those 156 players, we do have a lot of PGA professionals who get into this tournament as well, who are in the field. But it is consistently ranked as one of the hardest courses on tour. It is a coastal course. It's a link-style course. You've got seaside Paspalum greens. I always say that wrong. I don't even know how you say it, but it's Paspalum greens.
Paspalum
greens.
No. What did Kyle say? Shit, I don't remember.
I don't know. But Cal Peters is a good point that you just brought up, because we had Cal Peters on the DFS show, and he gave us a ton of information. He's an experienced caddy on tour, but he's also very experienced because he's from the area in Charleston and has played Kiawah and caddied around Kiawah a ton. So he knows this course a lot. So if you go and listen to the DFS show, you need to listen to what Cal Peters said. But look, this course is going to be extremely difficult. Off the tee, the fairways are pretty wide. So that definitely lends itself to the bombers, which you are certainly going to have an advantage here with the length here. But I think strokes gained around the green is important. There are a ton of long holes here, okay? A lot of long par fours. They're going to have a lot of long irons into these greens. They're not going to be hitting a ton of these greens on average. So if you don't hit the greens, you've got to be good at getting up and down, and I think that's going to be something that's important here. I mean, look, 8 par fours on this course have a distance between 450 and 525 yards. Whoa. That's freaking long, okay? That is freaking long. That's why I said earlier I wanted to play from the junior tees, okay? Because it is a long course. And then, of all things, when you get a coastal course, the one thing you want to look at is the weather, okay? Sunshine all around. I don't think we're going to see even an ounce of rain, except for the morning dew as the sun rises. As the sun rises upon the course, you might have a little morning dew wetness. But other than that, it's going to be dry as hell. There's no rain in the forecast. And you know what? We'll see what the wind is going to look like. And Kyle Peters mentioned that on the DFS show as well. We're going to get that eastward wind, which is what it's looking like on most days of the week. But the wind is key to this course. You got to look at that. We're going to want to look at that later in the week as far as a wave advantage is concerned. But anytime you get a coastal course, that's the biggest thing. The weather is huge because it's just so open. It's so open to the elements and things like that. So other than that, your past champion here, I'm just going to mention one, and that's Rory. I talked about him early. He obliterated this field. I'll give you last year's champion. It was Collin Morikawa, but he didn't play on a course even close to this. So there you go. Man, I feel like that was I'm running out of breath here.
Yeah, what are some key things we talked about with Kyle? Kyle was very informative. Yeah, like Pat said, PGA Tour caddy, played Kiawah a ton, lives right there, knows this golf course well. Oh, did you even mention that he was out there today? He literally walked the course twice.
Yeah, walked the course
that
twice
dude,
today.
course twice. God.
And that's a long ass course to walk. I mean,
walked it first, and then he played it with his guy. The 18 holes. Like, God, that would suck. So he saw a lot of the Ocean Course today. He talked about a couple things. We got some questions in the chat, in the live YouTube chat last for the DFS show that maybe people will also be asking themselves here. One of them was talking about the Pass Palom. Kyle was like, listen, yes, we play Pass Palom, Corrales, Mayakoba, but that Pass Palom is pretty grainy. It's not quite the same. He talked about the Pass Palom here at the Ocean Course was pretty pure, and it was just good. Like, no grain, just pure. For that reason, like, I don't think when you're looking at making bets, I don't think you put a whole lot into, like, Pass Palom putters. First of all, you mentioned this in the DFS show. There's not a lot of sample size. We don't see a lot of Pass Palom. A lot of these guys haven't even played on that stuff. I mean, like, when's the last time DJs played Pass Palom? Probably. I don't know. It's probably been a minute. So I don't think it's worth getting bogged down in, like, let me see who putts well on Pass Palom courses. I don't think that's something you should do. He definitely talked about the wind. We talked a lot about the wind, so you're going to want to go back and listen to that. We talked about how, fairways are pretty generous, but if you miss them, you are potentially lost. I remember that very vividly because I missed a lot of fairways. As wide as they are, it doesn't matter for me.
I can imagine you should have more information about missing fairways on this course than anybody I know.
I do. I missed a lot of fairways on this course and a lot of lost golf balls because, I mean, there's plenty of sand out here. There's a ton of sand out here, but waste area stuff like greenside sand. But dude, I mean, you miss these fairways, you are at risk of losing it in the fescue and in the dunes. You're done. Like, you can't miss it by a lot. So anyway, it'll be interesting. I think for the bettors out there, one of the more interesting things that Kyle said is he predicted if the weather stays the same, and we talked about the forecast and the wind and all that stuff. He predicted the winning score being somewhere between 8 and 10 under. 8 and 10 under was his projection, and I think
that's a good prediction.
Yeah, he felt like if the wind picked up, it could get much worse than that, like 5 under winning, 4 under winning, 3 under winning, whatever. It's going to be a tough test. Like, I think the PGA over the last couple of years has decided they want to feel a little more U.S. Open-y. It's not like 16 under is going to win this thing like a regular damn PGA Tour event. So I think it is going to be a tough test. I think Kiawah was ready to show its teeth a little bit. Hopefully we get a little more wind than what we have right now, but a good reason to join the Nut Hut and go to tourjunkies.com and click on Golby's Nut Hut. A good reason to join is because weeks like this, there's always wind and weather factor at play, and things change. We're recording this on a Monday night. Come Wednesday evening when we're mixing it up with all the people in the Nut Hut, I'll be in there this week. Pat's in there, Ben's in there, AC's in there. If you're a regular in the Nut Hut, all those cast of characters. It's a good thing to get in there and mix it up because we're going to have some thoughts on the weather advantage. Tee times will be out. You'll get to see who's got what advantage. We've got a ton of caddies on the golf course. They're going to be kicking back information to us. We'll share all that in the Nut Hut. It's only $10 a month or $90 a year. Stupid good value. And as long as you're a member of the Nut Hut, you get 20% off all your Tour Junkies shop purchases, literally everything. And we're about to have brand new hoodies, brand new Siwoo Kim Ric Flair t-shirt that's going to break the internet. We got these coasters. If you order anything out of the shop, Pat will throw a coaster or two in there. Yeah, it'll be like coaster roulette, though.
Just go in and order a coaster.
Well, no, we're not going to put coasters on.
Let's not even put them on the thing. Can we please not do that?
Because these assholes will do that. Man. They'll be like, oh yeah, here's a $3 order. Give me 3 coasters.
3 coasters.
And then Pat will have to ship that for $3. No, the coasters will just get thrown in. If you order something, it's coaster roulette. You get what you get.
You get what you get. You may get me with some acorn tears. You may get. I may decide it's a DB day with some acorn tears. Okay.
Maybe they can put in a request. They can in the notes in their order. They can put in a request if they prefer DB or Pat. That would be interesting. I would love to see that. It'll probably be you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Nut Hut's where it's at. So that's the winning score projection. You just need to go if you know, even if you don't play DFS, you need to go and listen to Kyle talk about the golf course. It was really good. It was in like the first, I don't know, 15 minutes. We started the conversation with Kyle. Maybe 12 minutes, 15 minutes in, we started that convo with him. So check that out on the YouTube page or wherever you listen to podcasts. Good stuff. Also, you know, if anything, Kiawah will make you feel like, damn, dude, I need to work out. I need to get my ass in shape. I need to be more bendy. You know, I'm not bendy enough in my age to play golf or walk around or maybe tie a shoe or go potty. You know,
where did that go?
I don't know why I said that. maybe you need to go potty. Anyway, our friends at Golf Forever, they've been helping Pat. They've been helping Pat with his at-home workout program, assigning him exercises and workouts and stuff that he can do at home with minimal equipment. He doesn't have to worry about expensive gym equipment or memberships or any of that stuff. Developed by co-created by major champion Justin Leonard. Heard of him? Yeah, probably. And they feature top biomechanic experts. That's mechanics of bio things. And they feature PGA Tour trainer and chiropractor Dr. Tory Van Beesen, who works
Tory Van Beesen.
Tory, it is Tory, who works with 5 players ranked in the top 30 in the world golf ranking, and Pat. I mean, if that's not a resume, F you. You know, you don't even know what a resume is.
He puts me at the top.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. The program features over 100 personalized fitness programs developed for the individual based on existing physical condition and any prior injury history to help deliver a safe and effective exercise program that is truly customized. Golf Forever app delivers recommended daily exercise routines as well as a library of over 500 videos to search for if you just want to do your own thing. The normal yearly price is $150 or $15 a month. But with promo code TOUR99, you as the Tour Junkies listener, you save $51 on the yearly plan. So if you want to get in better shape or you just want to improve the way your body feels before, during, and after a round, or maybe you just need to go potty, check out Golf Forever at golfforever.com. Be sure to enter the promo code TOUR99 to get Golf Forever for just $99 a year, which is a $51 savings because you're just a Tour Junkies guy. That's TOUR99 and feel the results for yourself.
Feel the results.
F yeah, daddy.
Golf Forever.
Oh man, that was rough, huh?
I don't know. Maybe you're a little rusty from the COVID days. The age of the COVID.
You know,
maybe I should have done that one.
They say COVID brain is a thing, and yeah, I feel like, hey, what the? Okay, let's see. Let's get into the betting picks, man. Let's get into the betting picks. And listen, we got a plethora tonight because
a plethora,
especially DraftKings. I mean, we'll talk PointsBet, but DraftKings has a lot more action out right now on a Monday.
Would you say that we have a plethora of bets?
Yes, I would. Foghorn. Yes, Foghorn.
No, do you know what that movie is?
No. What movie?
I bet you Dad producer Sam knows.
You know, people need to know. He does not know. He's also throwing me off that his name in here is Pat Perry, and you're Pat.
I know that throws me off too. I'm like, am I talking to myself?
Why are we all Pat Perry now?
Like, why is everybody my name?
I don't know. I'm Pat Perry.
Yeah, you are too.
Perry.
I don't want to be Pat Perry.
We're all
everybody
Pat Perry?
in this personal chat is Pat Perry. You've never heard about a plethora? Would you say we have a plethora of piñatas?
What the?
No, I don't know.
Y'all have not seen the movie Three Amigos?
Oh, yeah, like 15 years, 25 years ago. Yeah.
So that's El Guapo?
El Guapo, a plethora.
All right.
Anytime I hear the word plethora, I think of Three Amigos and El Guapo. Like, that's the only thing I ever, like, that's like the first thing that comes to mind.
I think people need to understand something. if you are listening to this or watching this, you need to know it is late on a Monday night, and we have been drinking for at least 2 hours. At least 2 hours. So there is a high chance that things swerve. They swerve.
They go off the rails.
We drift into another lane over here, and that other lane may be God knows what. It may be something we shouldn't. But this is just going to happen. It's less likely to happen in the DraftKings show because we do that one first. By now,
there's El Guapo.
There's El Guapo. By now, you just need to be warned that's what's happening. And then after this, we record Tour Junkies After Dark.
Be even worse.
Presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. And that one we actually record last. We should record it first because we get paid to do that one, and it goes on someone else's YouTube channel. But that one could get worse because at that point we've been drinking like 3 hours at least. So don't be in here all shocked and being like, "Oh, what are we doing? Like, why are we drinking? And why are we talking like this?" And don't be surprised, dude. Just if you don't like it, like, get out of here. I'm a Pat boy. What the
I don't know what that means.
Don't be a Pat boy. Nobody wants to be a Pat boy. It's somebody.
Actually, I think he meant that in the kindest way possible.
Ty in the chat sucking up to Pat. This is what happens, man. What are we?
He must be part of the general nonsense. The army. He must be part of Pat's army.
I feel like he's not in the Nut Hut. All right, let's get on with this.
Let's get to some picks here.
Let's talk about outright bets first. We're going to get to some top 20s. I got a fun little prop bet I want to talk about. Maybe we'll get into some extra stuff.
Okay.
What do we do at the top of the board? You got Rory as the favorite, currently on DraftKings at 11.5 to 1. A lot of halves. That kind of irritates me. Like, what do we?
It irritates the hell out of me. Like,
don't give us a little bitty hook on a golf bet. Like, give us
give me
12.
Give me something. Yeah, I agree with that.
Don't tickle me right here. Like, don't not finish the job. You know what I mean? Like, just finish the job. Give me 12, and then they give me Rom at 14.5. Give me 15. Give me 15 on JT. He's at 14.5. Like, what are we doing?
Okay, well. So speaking of a half, of all of these guys, the one that I do like, and I'm going to take the half on, is DJ at 18.5 to 1. I like DJ at 18.5 to 1. Look, okay, this is like a theme for me this year. When I'm going to get a guy who's one of the top players in the world, like Justin Thomas at the Players Championship, like who do we have just a few weeks ago? Same odds, kind of. I can't even remember.
Notice that the graphic on YouTube right now says DB's outright picks because I sent my picks in. Apparently, you did not.
I sent them in.
I agree with you.
Producer Sam, come in and tell. Like, I sent that same pick to you.
Well, you both sent DJ at 18.5 to 1, so I didn't name it. I just said PGA Championship outright picks.
Well, no,
but it
because
says
you both have the pick.
Right, you're giving DB all the credit for my pick here.
It doesn't look at the screen.
I'm looking at the screen.
I'm looking at the screen too. It says
on my screen. It says PGA Championship outright picks.
Still says DB's outright.
Still says DB's outright picks.
Anyway, we both like this DJ pick. Apparently, I'm with you. I think 18.5 is a good value, really good value.
Yeah, I like him this week. I think he's great value, and that's the reason I like him. I mean, you're getting DJ again discounted based off of his form, which hasn't been that great, but still, this is a good course for him. You talk about a guy who can bomb it all around this entire place, bomb
it all around the place.
Say all kinds of things.
Anyway,
all over the place.
DJ 18.5 to 1. I like him.
Yep.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about why you like him before we move on?
No, I mean, first of all, I'm not buying the knee injury. I wouldn't sweat that, people. He also put on his Instagram story doing a backflip off his boat, so don't worry about it. He just didn't want to play the Byron Nelson. I don't blame him. The weather was looking weird all around. He knew that like 20 million under was going to win, which opened it up to anybody. He's like, F it. I'll just go to the PGA and move on with my life. Don't sweat it. He's trending up. I like that about DJ. He's a South Carolina dude. I agree with Pat 100%. It's just one of those numbers, one of those names, and one of those numbers that just is a little too good to pass up. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Move on.
So next, going a little longer here, I like some Daniel Berger at 30-1 as well. He's a guy that also, I think, if you're looking at like DFS picks, I think he's going to certainly be a chalky guy. But we don't care about chalk when it comes to betting guys. And Daniel Berger checks all the boxes. He's 6th in the field in strokes gained off the tee, top 20 in approach. He is top 10 in ball striking, top 30 in par 4 scoring from 450 to 500 yards out. And he's also just a great putter. Top 15 in the field if you just look at strokes gained putting over his last 100 rounds. So, on a course like this where we have greens that they aren't typically putting on every week, I just want to look at good putters in general. I think that's going to make him better. So Daniel Berger at 30-1, I think is a good pick.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer Patrick Reed. In that range, I'd prefer P. Reed at 35-1. Give me you're talking about a winning score somewhere between, at worst case scenario, 4 under. Best case scenario, 10 to 12 even. I still like Patrick Reed. In all those scenarios, a grindy player that has enough distance and can scramble his dick off at the drop of a hat, can putt on any surface, doesn't matter, has plenty of win equity. I love the value with P. Reed at 35-1. It feels like a great spot for him at Kiawah. I think I'll go there.
Okay.
Cantlay.
No.
We kind of talked about him in the DFS show, dude. I mean, 45-1.
No.
45-1. Dude, this is a classic. This is Come on, dude. You're gonna hurt. People are gonna turn off the show after that. You have to back up from the mic if you're gonna do that. 45-1 is a huge number. Yes, if you look at short-term form, it's terrible. 4 straight miscuts. It's not good. But, dude, long-term form, and I mean, you don't even have to talk like super long-term. We're just talking about 4 events. That's it. 4 events. It's golf. And Patrick Cantlay is a world-class player. We're not talking about, okay, this is not Max Homa, okay? This is not Matt Wallace. This is not Ryan Paul.
2 guys that have played better than Patrick Cantlay
Sure.
the last few weeks.
I'm not saying I don't like those guys, but I'm saying like long-term, big sample size, big tournaments, Patrick Cantlay is a different level player than 45-1. To me, I mean, I know we debated him on the DFS show, but to me, at 45-1, I mean, if you're not going to play him in DFS because, even the 6% ownership is not tempting enough, at 45-1, if you're going to fade him in DFS, at least sprinkle, spread out, blast out a little bit at 45-1 on Patrick Cantlay. That's a lot, dude. That's a big number. You're not tempted at all by that. If you had to play him in one, DFS or bet him at 45-1, which one are you doing?
Did what now? Say that again?
You're not paying attention, God. If you had to pick him in one, if you had to play him in DFS or bet him at 45-1, which one are you doing?
God, that's a good question. I think I would play him in, I'd bet him.
I think I'd play him in I'd bet him.
You see the indecisiveness.
Yeah.
I did that. I feel like I did that perfectly, as a matter of fact. But I think I would probably bet him, because then like the bet could go out the window early on, and I wouldn't have to suffer through all the rest. Like that. That's why I would bet him.
Okay. Other names. Okay. Here's the name. Cam Smith. We talked about him ad nauseum. He's at 46.5-1 on DraftKings. Would you rather bet Cam Smith or Patrick Cantlay?
I would rather bet Cam Smith.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
The win equity that Patrick Cantlay has, you cannot tell me is not Markedly
I think it's better. I think it's better than Cam Smith. I mean, I think Cam Smith's win equity is better than Patrick Cantlay. Yes, I do. As much as I don't actually like I don't want to play. I don't like Cam Smith as much from a DFS angle because I think he's going to be his ownership's going to be too high. But I like him as a bet over at Patrick Cantlay sucks right now. What is he doing? Like he's not even
okay.
Like, at least Cam Smith has shown you some form and a lot of other things.
And I like Cam Smith. I talked about in the DFS show. I kind of like Cam Smith.
Why is this all this talk of Cantlay this week? I don't even understand. You talked about him on the DFS show. Now we're getting into him again on the betting show. Like it's way too much.
Because the value and the value in DFS and the ownership in DFS. But here it's the value.
There's a reason that there's value. Because he sucks right now. Yeah.
Podcast dad Sam, producer Sam, says Cantlay's 35 to 1 at a lot of books. So 45 to 1, you're getting a good number on him. You're getting a little bit of action. Yeah, he's 35 to 1 on points bet. I mean, 45 to 1 is a good number, dude. You can't tell me that the outright win equity, you're talking about an outright bet. He's got to win. You cannot, I just can't believe that you think Cam Smith gives you the better value than Patrick Cantlay in that regard.
In this situation today and where we are at, then I would take Cam Smith
for you. Maybe we need to have a Patrick Cantlay bet.
Well, you've got some COVID brain or something. If you think Patrick Cantlay is, I mean, what is this like?
Hey man,
2 months ago.
Don't bring COVID into this.
Well, I mean, you had the COVID.
Yeah.
Like what you can tell us what happened.
We need a Patrick Cantlay bet. Like what do we need a Cantlay versus somebody? I'm not going to do Cantlay versus Cam Smith, but
whoa, why not? You just
talked about a bet. We talked about a bet.
Yeah, I've been.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
I don't know, man. I think Cantlay at 45 to 1's a steal. All right. Well, we gotta land on a bet. Producer Sam, make sure we land on a bet before this show is over because we talked about that in the DFS show. We couldn't land on one, but we said we're going to do a ranch water bet, and we need to do one. Moving on down the board, I think Paul Casey at 55 to 1 is pretty solid. I mean, I don't. He's 55 to 1 on DraftKings. He's 50 to 1 on PointsBet. I could see him getting a little shorter, maybe a little shorter. I know you and I both like Casey. Never won a major. But, I mean, honestly, like the PGA or the Masters is a great spot for him to win a major. You know, for an older, kind of wily, grindy veteran where, you know, the PGA is one of those where I feel like a lot of different players could win. He nearly won the PGA last year at Harding Park. I mean, Morikawa just took it, but he finished runner-up at Harding Park. He's been playing good, great ball striker, good in the wind, good if it's a birdie fest, good if it's not. 55 to 1, you know, is worth. I mean, God, at this point I've wasted so many partial units betting Paul Casey over the years. I'm not.
You might as well waste some more if you're going to waste them on Cantlay. But anyway, I don't mind Casey.
I feel better about Cantlay winning than Casey winning. Honestly, like I
feel better about Casey winning.
No,
I mean,
sure. Do I think
you want to go Casey versus Cantlay?
Hell no. What I was gonna say is like just winning. Like, do I feel better about Casey finishing top 10? Yes. Closing the door, winning the golf tournament late on a Sunday. If I had to pick one of the two at 45 to 1 versus 50 to 1, I'm taking Cantlay at 45 to 1.
Okay, what about this? I'm trying to think of bets. What if you get Cantlay and I get Berger?
No. No. He's 30 to 1 versus 45 to 1.
Okay. No. All right. Well,
I'm not doing that.
Trying. All right. We didn't get to.
It's hard for me to do a Cantlay versus another player bet because I know he's struggling. Like I'm not. Like I don't think he's guaranteed. He doesn't feel like a safe play whatsoever. I'm just saying from a winning upside and a value play, he feels like he's there. So it's going to be hard for me to bet him against for a ranch water shot. It's just that's going to be tough. Mark Horn says Cantlay's the king of the guy who poops with the door open. I don't know what that means, but that's kind of funny to me. I don't know what that means, but poops with the door open. I mean, is that a problem? I mean, I poop with the door open a lot of times.
I like it closed.
Unless I'm at work.
I like the vents going. I even run the sink. I run everything. I like a lot of noise.
OCD.
I like a lot of noise, so the vents running, the sink is going, all kinds of stuff during that time of day.
Man. Nobody cares. Just let it go natural.
Anyway, I like Abraham Answer at 55 to 1. I think he's a great bet this week. Another guy that we talked about on the DFS show is in fantastic form. I think even though he's short off the tee, everything else is so positive for Abraham Answer. Just a great ball striker, great on approach. Everything about Abraham Answer is awesome. And so you're getting him at 55 to 1 and in good form. I think that makes for a good play. So he is one of my I like him in this mid-range a ton.
He's 40 to 1 on PointsBet. So you're getting a lot of value on DraftKings.
Yeah.
All right, here's a question for you. On DraftKings, right now, clearly DraftKings has the better numbers out. I mean, this is a tough decision. Answer at 55, Casey at 55, and Zalatoris at 55 to 1 on DraftKings to win. I think that's tough. Like, I throw Zalatoris in there a little bit. Like, I kind of like Willie Z, even though he's let people down the last couple weeks. Wells Fargo, Byron Nelson, he's not been amazing, but obviously the kid's got to win. I mean, he's doing his best he can to win to make it to East Lake. He's got the chops to compete in the big tournaments. We saw him at the Masters. Got plenty of length. Like, if you had to pick one out of Casey, Answer, and Zalatoris, or how would you rank those three at that 55 to 1 range?
Casey, Answer, Zalatoris.
I think I go Casey, Zalatoris, Answer. I like Answer in the DFS world. I like the value at 7,900 to win, to freaking close the door and win. You know what I mean? Like, close the door and win. We almost saw Willie Z do it at the Masters for the first time. Like, do you think Answer is more likely to do that than Willie Z?
I think he is more likely to do it than Willie Z. I don't think he's more likely to do it than Paul Casey, actually. I think this is a huge week for. I think this is a huge week for Paul Casey. Actually, I think this is a week where he could close the door. And even though he hasn't won a major and things like that, I think this is a week for him. So
I love that, because I'm going to eat the chalk in DFS and I'm going to bet the piss out of him. So I love that. I hope that's right. If that happens, then I'll probably be happy on Sunday.
Me too. But
lately I've been looking great on Saturday night and then just get gooch punched on Sunday.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
Yeah. All right. So moving on down. 60 to 1. I kind of like Fitzpatrick. Matthew Fitzpatrick. I don't know if I gave that name to podcast dad, Sam, producer Sam. Oh yeah, I did. Matthew Fitzpatrick, 60 to 1. He's added some length off the tee. He's added some speed, which I like that. He's got the Euro angle. If you want to look at the 2012 leaderboard, you want to say, all the Euros. He's got that angle. I think Fitzy is an interesting play here. He had one tough tournament, right, where people were kind of disappointed. But other than that, I mean, he's had a fantastic year. Had a miscut at the Byron Nelson, but it was a miscut where freaking, you could shoot 5 under and miss the cut. That's banana land. I'm going to throw that out. Like, you just had to be firing. This is a different golf tournament. Before that, he finished 4th at the Heritage, 9th at the Players, 5th at the Genesis. Let's look at another hard golf course last year, 6th at the BMW, 6th at the WGC, 3rd at the Memorial. These are tough golf courses where 20 under, 25 under doesn't win, and the field is tough. And I think that's where Fitzy rises to the top. So I'm gonna throw out this AT&T Byron Nelson. I actually hope it throws some people off of him, and I think it's lengthened his number a little bit and put him at 60 to 1. I'm a fan.
I like him. I like him too. I like Fitzpatrick. A couple more that I'll add in. Sorry, let me get to the text that I sent to producer Sam because I forgot that I had added these on here.
We are getting hammered.
I like Corey Connors. I like Corey Connors at 70-1. I think that's a good look. We've got to keep riding Corey Connors. You got to keep doing it because the guy's just been incredible all year long. So I like Corey Connors. A couple more.
I think these greens are kind of easy. Once you get on them, you got to get on them. You got to get on them, and you got to hold them. You got to hold them into the wind. You got to not hit the little fall offs that there's so many runoffs here in these Pete Dye designs. Connors, that's his problem, is putting on the greens. But I mean, like I said, I played this course a few times. If you just get the ball to stay on the green, if you can mark your golf ball, they're not super undulating. They're not super grainy. They are what they are. So I like that about Connors.
Yeah, I agree. And then a couple more here before I have a few top 20 bets that I think you could play. This one's a little out there, but he did play pretty well here actually the last time they played at Kiawah. And he's been hit or miss recently. But and actually DB put him on his betting card on a week where he was a miss. But you know what? After that, he's been pretty good. And that is Gary Woodland at 100-1. I'm going to put him on the card this week. I know it's a risk. But I still like him at 100-1 at that number. And then Cameron Tringali at 110-1, a guy we've seen play extremely well all year long. I've just continued to play him, and he continues to outperform. I'm going to put him at 110-1. He maybe could have that breakthrough win in a PGA Championship. He's maybe your Sean McKeel of So there you go.
I hate Sean McKeel. The worst fist pump in all of athletics history. All athletics history. The worst fist pump. Sean McKeel can suck it. I like Matt Wallace at 90-1. Big fan of Matt Wallace. He was the only player I bet ahead of Monday was Matt Wallace. He was here last week prepping. Been playing really, really well lately. I think he's probably right up there with Matt Fitzpatrick as kind of the best playing Euro at the moment right now. I guess Paul Casey's a Euro, but I feel like Paul Casey's not really a Euro. He is, but I feel like he's not. I think Wallace at 90-1. Now, that's actually his best number is over on PointsBet. So he's one of the few that PointsBet's giving you a better look this week. I love that number on him. I think you pound it right now. Don't even think about it. Just pound it. Just bag over his head, pound it. For like the triple digit numbers, I don't have many. I think, I see your Gary Woodland. I raise you a Shane Lowry at 100-1. It feels a little icky. Feels like I kind of woke up in the middle of the night. My pants are sticky and I feel kind of gross, but I'm glad I did it. Lowry is like just one of those guys that, he's an open champion. He can win if it gets gnarly. Decent scrambler, long enough. I don't know. It's just a shot in the dark. I much prefer Siwoo Kim. I don't know how you don't bet Siwoo Kim. I think you bet him now because I think the number is going to get much shorter. Right now he's at 130-1 on DraftKings. He's much shorter on PointsBet. Plenty of length. Checks the box on Pete Dye courses. Good scrambler, good approach play, good form. Siwoo's an auto bet for sure. That's probably it for outrights. I'm probably good on outrights.
Okay.
Top 20s. I got a few top 20s I think are interesting. I'm not going to give you a top 20 shorter than 3-1 because I'm not a freaking pansy. I'm not going to do that. So, Stuart Sink, Stifler's mom, plus 335 on DraftKings to finish top 20. Added distance. He's won twice in the last few months. He's won twice. Am I saying that right? Is that right?
Yeah,
twice.
You said that right.
In this season. Twice. What are we doing? What is going on? That's crazy. Stuart Sink is interesting. Siwoo Kim, just talked about him. He's 4-1, top 20. That's nuts. Max Homa is plus 450, 4.5 to 1. I mean, we haven't talked about Homa. I mean, actually, Homa on DraftKings. Let's see, is he still there? Homa is, yes, Homa on DraftKings right now. Outright winner is 160 to 1 on PointsBet. Okay, on PointsBet, Max Homa is, where is he? Can't find him. He's a lot less. He's 90 to 1. He's 160 to 1 on DraftKings, 90 to 1 on PointsBet. Max Homa. Now, we didn't really talk about him in the DFS show, but I mean, this is a guy who has had has found his game, right? Has found his game. According to Fantasy National, checks the box in windy conditions, plays well in the wind. Coming off a miscut, yes, at the Wells Fargo. Finished 6th at the Valspar, 10th at the API, won the Genesis, 7th at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. I mean, like, Max Homa has turned his game into something. At 160 to 1 on DraftKings, that's massive. And 90 to 1 on PointsBet, that kind of value. Why would you not bet Max Homa? Just throw a little quarter unit on him, a little whatever, small part of your unit on Max Homa. And he's 4.5 to 1 as a top 20. Love that. Matt Jones, Aussie, 5 to 1 top 20. Love Matt Jones. Great scrambler, plenty of distance, good approach play. Recent PGA Tour winner, won the Honda, made us a lot of money. Like the Matt Jones play. And then finally, I think you just need to be on the lookout. 8 to 1. Joel Damon and Wyndham Clark are 8 to 1 to finish top 20. Joel loves a tough golf course. Actually plays well on long courses, grindy kind of golf courses. Wyndham Clark playing better, hits it a ton, hits it a long way, plenty of distance here, and putts it fantastic. If he can just put it together with his irons, 8 to 1 top 20, that's a long number for a top 20 bet. So there you go.
All right. Well, I'm with you on Joel Damon there. I also was going to talk about him as a top 20 at 8 to 1. I like Aaron Wise also at 5 to 1, a guy that we've seen play, pretty well recently. He's kind of spotty as far as his recent form. 55th though last week, top 10 the week before. He did miss a cut at the RBC Heritage, but I think Aaron Wise he's got his game turned around a little bit, so I like him at 5 to 1. And then a European guy, a guy that's actually American, John Catlin, or Catlin, however you want to say him.
European guy, a guy that's actually American?
Well, I say that meaning he plays
American.
Solely. He plays solely the European Tour, but has played really well this year. And I like him at 7 to 1 to finish top 20. I mentioned Sam Horsfield also on the DFS show. Wow. Another guy you can get as a 12 to 1 to finish in the top 20 also. So I like Sam Horsfield at 12 to 1 for a top 20. So that's all I got. That's all I got, DB. I don't think I have anybody else. Yep.
Well, we did talk about this. I'm just going to throw this out there. This is a wild one. Okay, this is wild. Our boy Kyle Peters, who we had on the show, the DraftKings show, PGA Tour caddy, lives right there in Charleston. Very familiar with Kiawah. He's caddying he normally caddies for Mark Hubbard. Used to caddy for Corey Connors, but this week Hubbard's not in the field. He's caddying for a guy named Alex Beach, and Alex Beach is a PGA professional, but he's actually a pretty good stick. He's 10 to 1 to finish top 40. So that's just a wild one. Just throwing that out there, like, whoa, like, what are we doing? That's kind of crazy. I'm just throwing that one out there. That's all I got. That's it. Yeah. Head-to-head matchups, all that good stuff we'll talk about in the Nut Hut on Wednesday. Man, it was a good show, Pat. Our friends at Southern Tide helped us out with this show. We appreciate them. They're a coastal brand. They offer a variety of clothing options, including polos and shorts that are perfect if you play golf, and we do. And we've been rocking Southern Tide for a decade, maybe more. Pat, maybe 2 decades. Many of Southern Tide's items include performance features like cooling technology, moisture wicking, rapid drying. Their cooling technology utilizes scientifically proven to instantly and permanently keep you cooler, which is perfect for the course. It's about to get really freaking hot where we are, so you're going to need it. Use code Tour Junkie 20. That's TOURJUNKIE 20 to receive 20% off your purchase at southerntide.com. southerntidesports.com. It is they're great. It's great stuff. Great material. Great if you're OCD like Pat. Great if you're not like me and you just like a great shirt. Southern Tide, fantastic stuff. We appreciate them sponsoring the show. Tour Junkie 20 to receive 20% off at southerntide.com. Yeah. Pat, any final thoughts, man? Any closing thoughts? You're going to have your fantasy golf sommelier video.
Yeah, that'll be up tomorrow
Have you thought
night.
about that? Any ideas for the theme of that show? What's going on?
No, that all comes late like that. That's a secret. It's a very big secret.
Do you think you're giving medical advice this week, or just
no? I have a feeling of what I'm going to do, but we'll see what happens.
That's what I'm saying, like Jesus.
Maybe it will have something to do with South Carolina and wine, and how the South Carolina is underrated as far as their wines are concerned.
The South Carolina. We are hammered.
Oh, it's time to move on. But it's going to be a good one. The FGS is always good every week. It doesn't matter what I talk about. Actually, I don't think people even listen to what I talk about when it comes to wine. They just like listen to the picks. They give me shit whether or not they're good or bad, and then they find something funny that I say and they talk about that. But other than that, they don't really care. So
Mark Horn in the chat says you need to handle hangover cures, but I think you just did that, didn't you?
I do that all the time. Yeah, I do that more than often.
Yeah. Pat just handled that. Come on, pay attention, Mark. Pay attention. Yeah, you got the fantasy golf sommelier. We got some content coming out on tourjunkies.com on the website for free. Obviously, the Nut Hut chat Wednesday is going to be lit. You got the Chalk Bomb email dropping on Wednesday. Doug Gim was the Chalk Bomb last week. He missed a cut, owned it like 21%. Take that. The head-to-head matchup betting analysis is also in the chat, in the Chalk Bomb. So go to tourjunkies.com, scroll to the bottom right-hand page or side of any page there and sign up for that. That's there. Oh, man, it's good, man. Leave a comment in the YouTube channel. Toughest golf course you've ever played. You can win yourself a free hat, some stickers, ball marker, some coasters. Toughest golf course you've ever played. We'll pick a winner. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging with us. Yeah, get you some of that. Subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up. Leave us a 5-star review. We'd appreciate it. Anything like that kind of helps the show. You know, we put a lot of time into this, despite how it may sound. But we do actually put a lot of time to this. All right. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. May your screens be green, and may you win some money. Let's all win some money.
Let's do that.
I think it's time for us. It's been like a month since we hit a bet. That's a long time.
It's time to hit one. We're gonna hit one this week.
Been all around it. We've been dancing all around it. I mean, top like the runner up, like literally the effing runner up. We've been all around.
Dancing around the bets. Time to win more.
Let's hit one. Let's hit one. Thanks for watching. See ya.